VTuber equipment. Very often I get asked which is the best equipment to be a VTuber. And my answer always is, it doesn't matter what you use, what matters is how you use it. But this time we'll be taking a look at basic and medium equipments to be a VTuber and what can be done with each one. So let's begin. The very first thing you need to be a VTuber is a computer. It can be a desktop one or a laptop. If you are going to invest in a computer, it's better for it to be a desktop one, since it can be customized and improved over time. Laptops stay as they are, and in most occasions it's better to buy a new one in case they get messed up. But in how they work, there is no difference between one and another. What really matters are the specs. When you're a VTuber, you will always have a lot of programs open. Usually when videos are recorded, what you will have open are OBS, the program where the model is, and some other extra thing. If you are playing something that will be added to the total load, and the resolution and frames per second you capture will also have an impact on your performance. But as I mentioned, what really matters is how you use your equipment. Which means if you don't have a good computer, you can always innovate in a lot of ways, and that creativity will give you a good boost in the community. The type of computer I would personally recommend for being a VTuber would be the minimum necessary to use a VR headset. If you can get something more advanced, much better. If your computer is below this, you can still be a VTuber, but you may not be able to use some of the equipment mentioned in this video. For 3D models, the most recommended programs are VSeeFace and vMagicMirror, because they don't consume a lot of resources and they allow customization. And for 2D models, the most recommended are VTube Studio and PrpLive. The mentioned programs are free and the links will be in the description. That way you can test them and make sure your computer will work with them. You can use more than one program for being a VTuber. You don't have to stick to just one of them. Most programs use a webcam to track your face movements. When it comes to webcams, any webcam does the trick, even one integrated to a laptop. But if you buy a new one, it can be a cheap one or a medium one. There is not a big difference when it comes to webcams. Now we have the very basic equipment to be a VTuber, that is the computer and the webcam. Now let's build some basic scenes to be a VTuber in OBS. I already have some over here, but I will create a new one. If you click here, you can create a new scene. And here you add the elements to this scene. First I'm going to add a background, and it's going to be an image widget. Now I am going to add a game capture and select the window in which I have the model. In this case it is this one. And I am going to allow transparency. Also disable the cursor capture, and with this we have a very basic VTuber scene. Chat can be added as a window capture or integrated with a plugin. If you want to add something more, depending on the format that file is, it is going to be the type of widget. In settings you can change the resolution and frames per second. If you enable the virtual camera, you can use the model and the whole scene in Discord, Omegle, Zoom and all that kind of programs. In this point we have all the bases to be a VTuber. If you want to play a game in a live stream, this is the right moment to test. That way you can be sure about a lot of things. But in case your computer cannot be with a model open and the game open at the same time, you want to play a console exclusive game. You don't trust emulators, so you prefer to use an old console. What you need is a game capture card. For old consoles that use the composite cables, there are two options. The first one is this one, but sadly it doesn't capture in HD. Although that's not exactly a problem, considering a lot of VTubers have an overlay, and some platforms have a limit resolution for live streaming. So you will never see the full HD or 4K resolution. And for newer consoles with HDMI cables, you can use this one. This can capture in full HD and 60 frames per second, although it has a 100 milliseconds delay. But if you're a true gamer, that shouldn't be an issue, ha ha ha. And to see the game capture on your computer, add a video display widget in OBS, and select the video capture card. It may be necessary to reset the computer after connecting one. Here you can add all the settings you want. And if you cannot hear anything, change the audio settings to custom. Then select the audio from the capture card. In some cases you may need to add a different one. And if you want to capture an old console video game in HD, you can use a converter like this to adapt the cables to HDMI. That way you make it compatible with the previous capture card and you can change anything if it's necessary. This needs additional power, so it has an end drive for a different wire. Connect it where it belongs and you should be good to go. Now we are taking a look at equipment that allows you to move more, and the first piece is the Leap Motion Controller. With this one you can move the hands with 3D models. When you open it you will find a piece of cardboard with the link to the SDK that you need for it to work in your computer, the way to connect it, and the most common position to use it. The Leap Motion Controller is this very small rectangular sensor. Here is the entry to the cables. And it comes with two cables, a long one and a short one. I never used the short one, so it is completely new. It also comes with instructions. Downloading and installing the SDK is pretty simple. You go to the link in the piece of cardboard, then you click here, then choose your system. You access your account and it will be downloaded. You execute this file, follow the steps, and that's it. And if for any reason it is not working correctly, you can manually turn it on in the Task Manager. And with that you can move the hands with your 3D model. The Leap Motion Controller works much better if it is in the chest position. To have it in that position you can buy something like this, or improvise something with what you have in your home. The most recommended thing to use is something as hideous as this thing. It's a toilet paper cardboard base with just a metal wire. You put the Leap Motion inside it and it works perfectly fine. From this point you have to make sure your computer is a good one, otherwise it will not be able to support the programs or the equipment. And the first equipment in this category is the iPhone with face tracking. With 2D models it will give you instantly better tracking. And in the case of the 3D models, your model must have these 52 blend shapes so it can track your movements precisely. You can buy a new one or a used one. The newest ones can be very expensive and they don't come with the charger and the headphones. This type of tracking may look tempting, pretty and all, but it comes with very big disadvantages. The first disadvantage is that this works with internet, so if you have a bad internet, the model will not receive the information correctly or it will get bugged a lot. The second disadvantage is that if you are not very expressive with your face, the model will also have a null expression, and there are some cases in which the model looks more alive with the default tracking than with this tracking. If you mix this tracking with the Leap Motion, you already have a very professional tracking. Now I will show the last type of equipment I will show in this video, and that is a VR headset, in this case the Oculus Quest 2. This one demands a lot of resources, so it will not work on any computer. But if you have a very good computer, this may be a better option than the iPhone. They cost almost the same. The Oculus Quest 2 comes with two controllers, the headgear, a charger, and a USB cable. Something I would recommend extra for this type of equipment is a longer cable, since the one that comes with a VR headset is very short. It can be a generic one without issue. The official is very expensive for what it really is. Before you can use the VR headset in your computer, you need two things first. The first one is the official desktop Oculus app, and the second one is Steam VR. The official Oculus app can tell you if your computer is not compatible with VR, so you can install it to make sure your computer will work with it. Once you complete the startup guide in the VR headset and you install these two applications, you can connect the VR headset to your computer. If everything went alright, these two options will appear. Accept both. That will take you to the virtual desktop. First of all, go to Library and allow unknown source applications. For some reason, Steam VR is one of these applications. Now you can access your Steam games with VR support. You can select them from the library itself or go to Desktop and open Steam VR from there. Then select the game from this room and you're good to go. Applications compatible with a VR headset are Tracking World, VirtualCast, VRChat, and 3T. The one I'm using right now is VirtualCast, since it allows the VRM format and has a lot of customization. You only need to make an account on the Seed website and upload everything there. From the VR headset it will look like this, but it will look like this in the OBS screen. In the case of VRChat, well... And in the case of VRChat, you need to optimize the model as a whole in both polygons, materials and textures. And once you have all that, you must have a very specific Unity version and the VRChat SDK. You can get both of them from the official VRChat site. And you need an account there, because you must spend some time in the VRChat community, making friends, playing games and all that stuff. And that is the only way to get the permission to upload your own custom avatars and worlds. And you need the VRChat account so the time can count, since the Steam hours don't count. And if you don't do that, you won't be able to upload anything, and that is why I am using a default avatar right now. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time in VRChat, and this avatar is quite cool actually, I like it. So I'm not complaining here. And this is all for now. If you would like to know more about a specific program or piece of equipment, let me know in the comments and I will consider making a tutorial about it. If you want to know a little bit more about how to be a VTuber, you can check out this other video. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.